guys, and thanks for watching. Today I'm going to be showing you another one of my card tricks. This is called All the Same. So I'm going to show you both the tutorial and the performance. So let's start off with the performance. So this is how this trick's going to work. I'm going to start off by giving the deck a little bit of a shuffle, and then I'm going to ask the spectator to stop whenever they like. And say they say stop here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the top part of the deck and take the bottom card from that, place it down on the table. And then I'm going to give the deck another shuffle. Then I'm going to ask them to tell me when to stop once more. And say they say stop there. What I'm going to do is take the top bit off and place the card down on the table. Then I'm going to shuffle the deck again. And ask them once more. So they might say stop up here some way this time. And then I don't have a spectator with me, but believe me, these stops are completely random. Give it another shuffle, and this time I can show you that the deck is completely mixed up. And there's nothing wrong with it. And at this point I would ask the spectator if they were happy with the deck, and if they said no, then I could give it a little bit of a shuffle, but they can really see that there's nothing wrong with it, but they might say no. So what I do if they say no, I'll just give it another shuffle, and I'll probably give it a shuffle anyway. So then for the last time, I'm going to ask them to tell me when to stop. And I'm just going to riffle through the deck, just like that. And then if they say stop there, I'm just going to take the top. I can set the rest of the deck aside for now and put this card on the table there. And then the rest of the deck that I'm holding in my hand can also go to the side. Now at this point I'm going to ask them, what are the chances of these 4 cards that you freely picked all being the same suit? And they're going to say, well, pretty low. And then I'm going to ask them, what are the chances of these cards all being the same number? And they're going to say, even lower. And then I'm going to say, well, that's exactly what happened. Okay, so let's get into the tutorial for this. So this is my trick. So the ending is just the way I like to do it. You don't have to do it like that, but I think it makes it just wrap up the trick a little bit better. But this is a complete free choice card, but it's not actually. It seems like it because all I'm doing is rippling down the deck, and then it looks like I'm just taking it and putting it down. But what I'm actually secretly doing is taking the bottom card here and sliding it out as I slide the deck out, just like that. So as I slide the deck out, I'm also going to slide that card out. And what I need to do is to control the card I want to the bottom. So when I'm shuffling, it doesn't really matter what card is on the bottom. I just need to remember the number. Or if it's a face card, I need to remember if it's a king, queen, or jack. And then you can just stop whenever you like. For this example, it's gonna be the 6 of hearts. I don't need to remember the hearts, I just need to remember the 6. And it'll make sense in a couple of seconds. Now the 6 is on the bottom, I can do the riffle force, and I can just slide the card out at the same time. Now you don't want to do that, because then it will look a bit suspicious if it's just hanging out like that. So what you want to do is ripple down, and then you can do that if you like. It just makes it a bit easier for me. But ripple down and then do that, and then quickly just bring your fingers in like that. And then you can re-spread the cards and just place that on the table. And then, so this trick does rely on a little bit of luck. See, I've happened to come across the 6 of diamonds here. So what I would do is I would continue, and I've just happened to come across another 6. But we can't use 2 6s at the same time. So we just need to control this to the bottom of the deck. So we're going to bring it to the top and then back to the bottom, so it doesn't look a bit weird that I've just suddenly stopped shuffling. And now it's on the bottom, what I can do is have them tell me when to stop again, and then just use the ripple force once more. So you can use the ripple force. You don't have to use it, but it's probably the quickest force you can do. And then, so what might happen to you is if you've been shuffling for quite a while, they might start to get a little bit suspicious. So what you want to do is, if you've been shuffling for a while, then you're just going to spread through the cards. And what you're going to do is you're going to make them think that you're showing them that the deck is all mixed up. But what you're secretly doing is looking for another 6. So you're going to talk to them, say you can inspect the deck if you like, but I'm just going to show you something like that to say they're all mixed up. Don't ask them if they're happy, because if they say yes and you haven't seen the 6, then you're going to have to keep going anyway. So you don't want to ask them if they're happy, because then next time, if you have to do it again, they might just say, I'm happy, and then you won't have time to find the 6. So what we want to do is, when you find the 6, you're just going to stick your index finger underneath it like that, in between. Just like that. So it might look a bit obvious because you know how it's done now, but trust me, if you cover it up with these fingers, you can hardly tell. Especially if I put these fingers behind, you can't really tell from any angle. You can't really tell from there either, which is what they're going to be seeing. Which is all that matters, is that you can't tell from there. And then what you do is, once you don't want to just stop, you want to keep going and showing them. And then when you're done, when you cover it up like that, you just want to sort of break the deck where you cut it. But because, so these cards are the 6s, and this card is the 6. So what you want to do is just put your finger underneath it, so that when you cut it, it just makes it a little bit better, because I don't see that card straight away. And then once you've completed that shuffle, and you can complete another ripple force just like that, put it on the table. Now what you can do is you can just do basically the same thing over and over, but obviously only 4 times, because there are only 4 6s. See, I've come across the 6, so I shouldn't have been shuffling so fast, otherwise, see, if I was shuffling just slower like this, then I could have just stopped there. So you don't want to shuffle like this fast. You want to shuffle sort of like that, so you have a little bit of time to see the 6. But if you can't find it, then again you can just show them that the cards are mixed up and see where they look for the 6. But then once it's controlled to the bottom, you can do the last ripple force, and you can basically wrap it up however you like. What I like to do is just put the cards aside so that they can see my empty hands and that I'm not cheating or doing anything. And I just like to wrap it up by saying, you know, what are the chances of you picking cards that are all the same suit? They're going to say, well, probably pretty low. I don't know, like 452 or something. And then you're going to say, well, what are the chances of you picking cards of all the same number? And they're going to say, oh, well, heaps lower. And then you're going to say, well, that's exactly what you've done. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and click that notification bell to make sure you don't miss any new videos I post.